at Michigan. 75-71 was the final score, Michigan winning. Since that time, both the Boilermakers and the Wolverines have lost a couple of games. In fact, the Boilermakers have lost their last 3. Michigan has lost 2 since then. A surprise loss to Minnesota at Minnesota, and then they lost at Michigan State. The Boilermakers coming off of a tough road trip. They lost to Indiana, and then to Ohio State, and then to the Illinois team last Sunday. Those are the standings there. As we indicated, Michigan leads the league, a game ahead of Indiana and Iowa, and 2 up on Michigan State, Purdue, and Illinois. Now let's go to John DeCamp and the starting lineups for tonight's game between Michigan and Purdue.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. For the Michigan Wolverines at forward, a 6'6" senior from Riviera Beach, Florida, number 40, Richard Relford. For Purdue at forward, a 6'5" junior from Washington, Illinois, number 20, Doug Lee. For Michigan at forward, a 6'8" senior from Boston, Massachusetts, number 53, Butch Wade. For Purdue at forward, a 6'7" sophomore from Toledo, Ohio, number 33, Todd Mitchell. For Michigan at center, a 6'11" senior from Detroit, Michigan, number 42, Roy Tarpley. For Purdue at center, a 6'9" freshman from Chicago, Illinois, number 45, Melvin McCann. For Michigan at guard, a 6'5" junior from Detroit, Michigan, number 11, Antoine Jobert. For Purdue at guard, a 6'4" sophomore from Anderson, Indiana, number 23, Troy Lewis. For Michigan at guard, a 6'3" sophomore from Canton, Ohio, number 25, Gary Grant. And for Purdue at guard, a 6'1" senior from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 11, Matt Gaddis. Head coach of the Wolverines in his 6th year at Michigan, Bill Frieder. Head coach of the Boilermakers in his 6th year at Purdue, Gene Cady.
The lineup of Antoine Jobert, Gary Grant, Richard Relford, Roy Tarpley, and Butch Wade is the 26th consecutive game in which that's been the starting lineup for the Wolverines. Michigan, by the way, has won 35 of its last 37 regular season games and 22 of the last 24 Big Ten games. The Boilermakers had ripped off 8 consecutive victories over Michigan before last year when the Wolverines won both games, and add that one that they won earlier this year, so the Wolverines are 3 in a row. Although here, last year was the first time in 8 games that the Wolverines have been able to win on this court.
It's been difficult for anyone to win on this court, Joe. The Boilermakers play very well here. The crowd will be a factor tonight if Purdue can get them riled up. They're starting off very, very well. And if the Boilers can stay in this ball game early and battle Michigan, then it should be a game all the way down to the end. It's going to be a matter of what happens on the backboard. Michigan is very physical. They'll be physical all night long, and Purdue did have trouble with that physical play at Illinois in the last 5 minutes of their last ball game, where they were beaten by the Illini by 12.
Roy Tarpley leads the Wolverines in scoring at 14-8. They have 4 players in double figures. Richard Relford averaging 12-2. Gary Grant 12-6. Antoine Jobert 11-9. And the other starter, Butch Wade, averaging 6 points. Purdue is led by Troy Lewis at 18-5, Todd Mitchell at 15-6, Melvin McCants, the other player in double figures at 10-7. Gaddis is 8.5, the same as Doug Lee. 42 is Tarpley. He's 6'11". He is the team's leading rebounder as well as leading scorer. He's blocked 68 shots. 33 jumping for the Boilermakers. That's Todd Mitchell, 6'7" sophomore. He is the leading rebounder for the Purdue Boilermakers. It's a jam-pack. It is a loud crowd here at Mackey tonight. And here we go with the tip-off of tonight's game. Delighted to have you for this special edition of Purdue basketball. The game is underway, and the ball is controlled by Gary Grant. Sophomore out of Canton, Ohio, working outside. Gaddis is on him. Jobert gives it back to Grant. Here's a pass underneath, knocked away. It'll be out of bounds to the Michigan Wolverines. Hit last by Todd Mitchell.
Boilermaker guards immediately doubling up on the outside when the guards exchanged the ball, and that, I think, kind of confused Michigan. Todd Mitchell was in the position to make the steal but couldn't get a hand on it.
The ball comes inbounds. The shot is off the mark there by Grant, taken off by the Wolverines, and they out-rebound the opposition by nearly 12 rebounds a game. At the top is Tarpley. Back outside, Jobert. He gives it off there to Grant. Grant to the top of the key to Wade. The Boilermaker defense has been very sticky. Jobert with the ball, goes through, and we've got a offensive foul on Jobert. First foul against Michigan. The crowd is really in the game at the outset.
Jobert made a great move at the top of the key to try to spin 360 and go down the lane, but when he did it, he used that left hand to reach out and hook Mac Gaddis. He was caught for the foul, and the Boilermakers have the ball.
On the turnover, here comes Purdue. We played 40 seconds of the game. Gaddis goes into the corner. Jump shot is a beauty by Lewis, and Purdue leads by a score of 2-0. Full court pressure all over, but Wade breaks it. Into the lane, jumper, and falls in. Wade ties the game at 2. Wade from one end to the other.
Michigan very quick to get the ball down and take advantage of the slower Purdue defense as they didn't get down the court. As you saw that time, all of the Michigan players are very quick.
Mitchell with the ball, goes to McCants. The freshman looks inside. Troy Lewis with the ball. He's picked up immediately by Grant. Here is Lewis, out to Gaddis, guarded by Jobert. Lee sends it inside. McCants up, and it won't stay. Loose ball, who's going to get it? Lee throws it underneath to Mitchell, up, and it's good. Mitchell scores, and the Boilermakers lead 4-2. Purdue averaging nearly 51% from the field. The Wolverines shooting an even 50%. Tarpley almost didn't see that ball coming through, and McCants is guilty of a foul. Each team has been whistled for one. One on Jobert, one on McCants. Ball out of bounds to the Wolverines, ranked number 7th in the country.
A real good thing for Michigan is the fact that Tarpley can handle the ball out there at the top of the key. If he has to turn and dribble and go to the bucket, he can do it. Most people at that size just don't even try to dribble the ball.
Grant with the ball, hawked by Gaddis. Goes inside, here's Tarpley. Throws it up and in, his first basket, and the Wolverines tie the game at 4. We're nearly 2 minutes into the game. Wolverines have lost only 2, both in league action. 19-2 the overall record. McCants inside, working against Tarpley. Up, no, Tarpley got him. First foul, 2 on Michigan. McCants will go to the line.
McCants very active on the inside, and Purdue looking to get the ball down to him. Obviously, they would like to see Tarpley get into trouble and go out of the ball game. It's a good move by the big man. He leans in just a little bit. That call could have gone the other way. That could have been a charging foul if Tarpley would have held his position. He did not. The foul was called by the official. Tarpley gets his first, and McCants goes to the line.
The freshman out of Chicago, shooting 62% from the line, 63 out of 102 attempts. Sets. He gives Purdue a 5-4 lead on his first point of the night. Boilermakers as a team shooting nearly 71% from the stripe. Wolverines shooting nearly 76% from the foul line. Purdue 5-4. And another. Purdue is 2 out of 2, leading now by a score of 6-4. Full court pressure. Relaxed just a bit. Gobert into the forecourt. Lewis is on him. Here's a pass inside, stolen by Mitchell. Gaddis brings it down. Each team playing the man for man. Here's a reach-in foul. It'll be called on Relford, his first. That'll be 3 on the team.
Excellent defensive recognition at the other end by Todd Mitchell as he saw the back door. As Purdue was beaten by Grant, he just stepped right out and made the steal on the play, and the Boilermakers get something good out of it.
Purdue has won 15 straight home games, including 10 this year. McCants the inbounds play. Gaddis outside. Jobert on him. Lee looks to the corner. Lewis goes inside. Mitchell fires. No. Battle for the rebound. Pulled down by Relford.
Michigan really had it blocked out underneath. 3 blue shirts down low. The Boilermakers couldn't get to it.
Here's Tarpley. Shot good. Tarpley's second basket. Game's tied at 6.
Tarpley has so much skill with the basketball. At that time he tried to go to the inside and was really body muscled by McCants and couldn't go, so he just shot that little fall-away jumper. That's what makes him such a great player.
3 minutes have been played. Game is tied at 6. Troy Lewis, short jumper. Good. 2 in a row for Troy. Purdue by 2, 8-6. Grant on the drive. All the way down. Falls off, but there's a foul on Mitchell. 1 on him. The second foul on Purdue. And will be going to the free throw line by Gary Grant.
It's that great move by Grant and that quickness as he steps inside and draws the foul from Mitchell, who did not hold his ground. And you see the quickness of these two guards as well as the quickness of the up front people. You know why so many have had trouble with Michigan all year.
Grant at 80%, the second best free throw shooter on the team. Didn't get that one to fall. He leads the team in steals, by the way. There's Gary Grant, the sophomore out of Canton, Ohio, 56. This team is down 8-6. Didn't get either one up. Purdue got the rebound. McCants, second leading rebounder for Purdue. Gaddis looks for Lee. He's guarded by Relford. This is Mitchell driving up, and it falls off. Loose ball. Who's going to get it? Grant. Gobert takes it up. Lays it back and almost throws it away. Getting the ball and throwing it up and in is Relford.
What great ability to go up in the air, grab the ball, come down, find that baseline, and then do another 360 to get the ball up to the hoop. A super play by Relford.
Gene Cady thought he might have traveled on the play. This is Lee looking inside. We're tied at 8. Roy Lewis looks for McCants. It's deflected away. And the official says it'll be out of bounds to Michigan. So we have a timeout with 15:54 to play here in the first half. The score is Purdue 8 and Michigan 8.
It's like working in a jungle, trying to do business in today's communication environment. It's easy to get tangled up in technology. Analog, digital, voice, and data. Computers and people all trying to make contact at the same time. Indiana Bell can lead you out of this jungle with digital line services for your voice and data needs. Civilize your business communications with digital transport services. Indiana Bell, helping you communicate.
On March the 1st, Stewart's Gilman Discount Oldsmobile must pay tax on the state's largest selection of luxury vans, extra clean used cars, and new Oldsmobiles left in stock. To keep from paying this huge inventory tax, we at Stewart's Gilman are offering big discounts plus 7.9 GMAC financing on select new Oldsmobiles. Low rate 7.9 financing ends soon, and the tax man's coming. So hurry, see us now.
Stewart's Gilman Discount Oldsmobile, you're gonna love it.
With Bob Ford, this is Joe Pate. We're back at Mackey Arena. We played nearly, we played just over 4 minutes, 4 minutes and 6 seconds, and the Boilermakers and the Wolverines for Michigan are tied at 8 apiece. Troy Lewis has 4, Mitchell has 2, McCants has 2. On the other side, Tarpley has 4, Relford has a basket for 2, and a basket for Wade for 2. The turnover just a moment ago was the first of the night for Purdue. It'll be Michigan's basketball.
Been everything that we expected that it would be, and awfully glad to be able to bring this one to you because of the sold-out nature of the ball game. Purdue University let us carry this one here tonight, and we're glad to do it.
Purdue exercising pressure, and they break it. Grant throws it over to Tarpley. Tarpley at 6'11" bounces that ball pretty good.
Excellent player, Joe. He can just do everything with it, and that's what makes it so good.
Now we have a foul, and it'll be on Mitchell trying to break through. Commits his second foul, and that's the third one on Purdue, the same for Michigan. But 2 of them are against Mitchell.
There's one thing that Gene Cady didn't want to happen tonight. It was to get Todd Mitchell into foul trouble. Here is their major rebounder and scorer on the inside, now going to the bench as Kip Jones, the freshman, replaces him. Kip at 6'7", Todd Mitchell at 6'8", and a whole lot more experience.
So the Wolverines have an opportunity to take the lead for the first time in the basketball game. Comes way outside to Gary Grant. Gobert in the corner. Fires and gets his first basket, and for the first time, the Wolverines have a lead. It's 10-8.
Very critical offensive possession here for Purdue. They must get things going. They have to rely on Kip Jones to be able to do things. They can't run a four-man offense. They must use all five.
Lee with the ball, comes out to Jones. It's his Gaddis against Jobert. Gaddis at the 15-foot mark goes to Lee. McCants trying to break through, can't. Here's Gaddis from 15. It's no good. Here's a battle for the rebound, and Gaddis is going to pick it up. Gives it out to McCants, and now the Boilermakers set it up again.
And the guy in there battling the board was Kip Jones, who has a real good nose for the basketball.
Here's Kip Jones coming across the circle. Gives it out to Lee from long range, off the mark. Battle for the rebound. There's a foul. Jones over the back, his first. That's 4 on the team. And the ball will go out of bounds to the Michigan Wolverines.
Boilermakers got a second chance there and didn't take advantage of it. Probably not the exact shot that Purdue would like to have had from the outside. Here you see the foul, very obvious by Kip Jones as he really whacks Wade and knocks him to the floor.
So the Wolverines with a 2-point lead. The basketball, and Grant is hemmed in there and gets it away. Jobert with the ball. The count is on. Jobert finally throws it into the forecourt. Wade driving, sends it back outside. Jobert gives some instructions. Purdue's in a man-to-man. 5.5 minutes gone by. Wolverines up by 2. Tarpley leading the team with 4. That's he with the basketball. Grant turns around, scores his first basket, and now it is a 4-point lead, and that's the biggest lead either team has had.
Purdue really looks a little confused offensively with Todd Mitchell out of the ball game. They don't seem to be moving the ball on all 5 cylinders as they were earlier.
Purdue having been on the road for the last 3. Here's the ball knocked away by Tarpley, and that's the second turnover for Purdue. Jobert brings it back down the other way. Stops and fires. It doesn't go in there. The ball is loose, taken on the baseline, and it back up and in by Tarpley. And a timeout has been called by Purdue with 13:45 to play here in the first half, with Purdue trailing Michigan 14-8.
More women.
We like to see you smile, so we're getting ready. We're giving our best to outshine all the rest. Hooks likes to see you smile. When you walk down our aisles, you'll see all we're doing. You'll know that we care. Hooks likes to see you smile. We like to see you smile.
Until recently, having your car tuned up was a major undertaking. But thanks to Precision Tune, having your car tuned up is as easy as $39.90.
A fantastic adventure, a deadly challenge, a new kind of hero, a television premiere, the Beastmaster.
Friday at 8 on the Indiana movie station, WTTV Channel 4.
The Boilermakers were leading 8-6 with 15:54 to play in the game, but the Wolverines have come back and scored 8 unanswered points. Now with 13:45 to play in the first half, Wolverines have a 6-point lead.
Most of their points coming from the inside in that 6 to 8 foot area. Last time down, they even took the guard down inside Grant and posted him up about 4 or 5 feet from the basket. Little turnaround jump shot. Tarpley had a rebound basket, so the Boilermakers facing a very difficult time now as Everett Stevens has come into the lineup to replace Matt Gaddis.
This is Everett with the basketball. Lee goes to Troy Lewis. Cants out to Jones, and now to Everett Stevens. This is Lee, looks inside. Purdue's moving the ball well, but they can't get it inside. Now they do, and McCants almost throws it away, gives to Jones, and he got away with a walk, I think. He got the basket in his counts, and there's also a foul. Foul is on Relford.
A great move inside by Kip Jones. It looked like he may have traveled. I don't think he did. It was hard to see. You couldn't see his feet. The contact was incredible by Relford as he really went in and tried to block it. But Jones, hard-nosed as he is, went right for the bucket and got the 2.
38 out of 69 for 55% at the stripe. He gets his 3rd point. The Boilermakers are 3 out of 3 at the line, cutting the lead now, 14-11 on the 3-point play. Grant Picked up there by Everett Stevens. Thought he was going to get away with that, and McCants is guilty of his second foul. He and Mitchell now are in trouble with too early.
You just can't be reaching for the ball as happened that time. You're going to knock the guy on the wrist or hit him on the hand, and when you do that, you're going to get a foul call. There's no question about it. Gene Cady has a small question about it as he tries to get his Boilermakers into his own defense.
He's taking that coat off. He calls for the hands to be up there. Gobert guarded by Jones. This is Grant. Gobert drills his second basket of the night, and it is now 16-11 in favor of the visitors.
Michigan's such a good shooting team from the outside, it would be difficult to go to a zone against them. But the Boilermakers, with two of their big men in foul trouble already, have a long way to go.
Herb Robinson is getting ready to check in as McCants throws it in. His first basket, he's got 4. Here is a steal now by Troy Lewis. Comes down to Kip Jones, and it is stolen back now by Grant. Grant comes the other way. Gobert with the ball. Lewis is on him. Michigan is also getting ready to make a substitution. Pass underneath, and Jones almost steals the ball. Now a walking violation called on Michigan. Now the substitution. Herb Robinson is in for the Boilermakers, and Henderson comes in for Michigan, and he hurt Purdue in their first game.
Henderson had an absolutely fantastic game against Purdue at Ann Arbor. Robinson and Henderson actually are teammates going back to high school at Lansing Eastern, and they'll be in the ball game at the same time, although I don't think they're going to be matching up against each other.
Purdue is down by 3, 16-13. A little more than 12 minutes to play in the first half. This is a very, very, very big game for Purdue. Michigan plays at Illinois Saturday, but they've got 5 of their 7 games then at home. Here's a walking violation on Purdue. Counting the game they play at Illinois, they have only 3 road games left in the league. And one is at Illinois, one is at Northwestern, and one is at, I think, Wisconsin.
Michigan would have to have a major failure to not win the Big Ten the way the schedule is set up currently. Purdue could start that failure happening tonight should they be able to win the ball game.
This is Grant. Everett Stevens is on him. Grant makes a nice move, lays it off underneath there, and here is a walking violation on Henderson. Henderson's had a little trouble since coming in. Had trouble handling the ball outside and then inside. He walked with it.
Sometimes when you have a great game against a team, the next time out you're excited about playing them again, and your concentration is not as good as the first time. You have a little bit of trouble getting started.
5 turnovers for Michigan, 4 for Purdue. McCants outside. Here is Everett Stevens drilling in his first shot of the night, and Purdue is back within 1. 16-15, long pass down to Tarpley. He saved it, making some great moves over in the corner. Comes back outside to Gobert. Grant with the ball. Everett Stevens with his quick hands saves the ball and steals it away. Marvelous move by Everett.
Great job by Stevens to get that ball knocked away, and the bench has played very good here tonight for Purdue. Stevens made that great play, and the Boilermakers have got 5 points off of the bench already.
We have a substitution for the Wolverines. First, though, there's a timeout. 11 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the first half. It is Purdue 15, Michigan 16.
My dad's a great guy. He's entertaining. And he's got a terrific sense of humor. Mom says he takes care of me in ways I don't even know about.
Life insurance from your Farm Bureau insurance agent. Another way to show how much you care.
All day I face the barren waste without the taste of Culligan. Cool Culligan.
More and more people are finding quality water with a Culligan drinking water system. So maybe today you call it water, but tomorrow...
Culligan. Cool, clear Culligan.
Hey, Culligan man.
As a special new customer rental offer, you can rent a Culligan with the first month's rental free.
Minutes to play. McCants looks inside, goes out to Lee. Lee fires. Good! His first basket of the night. The Boilermakers lead. It's 17-16. Defense has turned it around, Bob.
They've really played well on the defensive end.
Here is a shot from the left baseline. Rice, who checked in during the timeout, scores his first basket. And the Wolverines have a 1-point lead. Here's the ball thrown down off the fingertips of Lewis. It'll be out of bounds on the 5th turnover for Purdue. Out of bounds to Michigan, up by 1. 38 seconds away from the midway point of the first half. Purdue will play 4 at home and 4 on the road after this one. The road games at Wisconsin, Northwestern, Minnesota, and Iowa. Iowa's the last one of the year. Goes inside and right back to Joubert. Goes down to the baseline. Short jumper, no. Battle for it, and it is knocked away. And Tarpley gets the ball. And a pushing foul on Tarpley. His second. Relford also has 2. So each team has 2 good players with 2 fouls apiece.
It's one of those that's kind of an, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, as Lewis and Tarpley both were going for the ball. Lewis got his hands on it first as Tarpley came in. He never saw Troy, and he really banged him hard as Troy went to the ground, and Tarpley picks up that foul, and fouls could be a real problem here for both clubs.
Here come the Boilermakers, down by 1. Everett Stevens goes to Lee. He has a basket, as does Stevens. McCants with the ball. He has a basket and 2 out of 2. Here's Stevens trying to throw it inside, and it is saved by Rice, but it'll be out of bounds to Purdue.
Wasn't a good pass to the inside. Everett thought he saw Herb Robinson open on the baseline, but there was a Wolverine there to knock the ball away quickly.
Lee comes into Everett Stevens. Joubert is on him. Here's the back door, and it goes to Robinson, and he scores his first basket, and Purdue leads 19-18.
Could really see that one set up well as the back pick was set by Troy Lewis on Tarpley, and Tarpley just felt the body and didn't do anything about it.
Grant gets away from Everett Stevens. Goes into the corner to Joubert. Back to Grant. Grant gets it right back from Rice. A double team over there on Grant. He throws it away, and Purdue can't save it. It'll be out of bounds to Michigan. Wolverines going to make a substitution. Number 30, guard Thompson, 6'1" junior out of Grand Rapids, is in. He is averaging 4.4 a game, and Grant leaves. Wolverines basketball underneath the Michigan basket. 9:33 to play, first half. Purdue leads by 1. Guard Thompson comes outside to Rice. In the corner to Joubert. Back, stolen by Lee. Nine minutes, 15 seconds to play. Boilermakers trying to increase the lead to 3. Gaddis to Lee. Herb Robinson. Second basket of the night. 1 long, 1 inside. Purdue is up by 3, 21-18.
While the Boilermakers have this emotional high, they need to take advantage of it to try to get a lead on Michigan so that they can get some rest for some of these frontline players.
Guard Thompson throws it there to Tarpley. It's stolen away. Here comes Purdue, 3-on-1. Here is Gaddis, lays it back. Lee missed the ball, and there's a foul on the play. And it is on Rice. It'll be his first 6 on the team.
The good job by Gaddis to get the ball back. Rice makes the recovery as Lee tries to get the bucket and can't get the job done as the ball rolls off the lip, but he was fouled. And Purdue really on a high at the moment. Michigan having trouble getting started, but they looked really good there for a couple of minutes when Purdue had to take Todd Mitchell out, and all of a sudden the Wolverines let down, and here came Purdue.
Lee, 32 out of 44, 73%. First miss of the night for Purdue after hitting 3 in a row. Elsewhere tonight in the league, Michigan State at Illinois, Wisconsin at Indiana, Northwestern at Ohio State. Michigan State is in here for Saturday game at 2 o'clock against the Boilermakers. Lee makes this one, 3 points. Purdue is 4 out of 5, and now with a 4-point lead. Purdue's substitution, Kit Jones, 30 is in. Melvin McCants with 2 fouls takes a rest with 8:40 to play in the first half.
We talked about just a couple of seconds ago, Gene Katie trying to get some rest for the frontline people. Mitchell's been on the bench for a long time. Now McCants finally gets to sit down after almost 12 minutes.
Guard Thompson, double team. Got it away to Wade. Gets it to the free throw line, reach and foul. And I think it'll be on Everett Stevens. Not sure. Let's check it out with the official. Oh, it'll be on Kip Jones. That'll be his second. That's 6 on the team. Each team has 6 fouls. 2 against Jones, 2 against Mitchell, 2 against McCants. On this other side, Tarpley with 2, Relford with 2, 1 on Jobert, and 1 on Rice. Thompson throws it down to Wade. Wade short jumper. Good. Wade's second basket. And it is 22-20 in favor of Purdue.
Boilermaker crowd wanted a 5-second violation as they held the ball on the sideline for a long time and finally got it down to Wade, who scored.
Purdue is 16-6 on the year. The Wolverines 19-2. Kip Jones, right wing. Here's Everett Stevens. Gaddis in the corner to Jones underneath. The shot is good. Jones power move. He's got 5 points. And he leads Purdue in scoring now. 24-20 Boilermakers.
Kip Jones really fired up to play here tonight. He came off the bench early and knew he had to get the job done, and so far he's done it.
Here's guard Thompson's shot. But it won't count, I don't think. There was a foul over on the side on Jones. It'll be number 3 already on the freshman out of Decatur, and that's 7 on the team.
Kip trying to do the jump switch and draw the charging foul. Couldn't get the job done as he just wasn't in good position. And he picks up number 3. Gene Cady looking at his bench as he's going to have to get somebody in for Kip.
And coming off the bench with 2 fouls is Todd Mitchell. He replaces Jones with 3. Mitchell is Purdue's second leading scorer, averaging 15-6. Leading rebounder at 7-5. Guard Thompson at the line, 1 in bonus. Makes his first point of the night. That's the first free throw for the Wolverines. That cuts the lead 24-21. Bill Frieder, the head man of the Wolverines, 3-8 against Purdue. Both of them are made by Thompson. And now we're going to have a timeout with 7:27 to play here in the first half. The score is Purdue ahead of Michigan by a score of 24-22.
I don't really work here. In fact, I've been at GTE for 10 years. I'm a GTE account manager.
But he's here a lot, making sure our GTE phone system meets our needs.
I'm the only one they ever have to call. But I can call on hundreds of specialists.
When we expanded, he helped us get into the Market Quote Network. And even use our phones to open new accounts.
This business depends on telecommunications. That's my job.
Soybean growers, chances are Lexone DF pre-emergence weed killer controls your toughest weed problems. Like pigweed, velvet leaf, lamb's quarters, smartweed, Jimson weed. Lexone DF, your first line of defense against broadleaf weeds. Only from DuPont.
At Mackey Arena, we have 7 minutes and 27 seconds to play here in the first half of tonight's Big Ten battle between the visiting Michigan Wolverines and the Purdue Boilermakers. And the Boilermakers lead by 2.
One of the big differences in this ball game, Joe, for Purdue, they've gotten 11 points off the bench already. Michigan only looking at 2, so the Boilermakers bench has really come on strong. That's been a concern by the coaching staff. As you see Gene Cady, they wondered whether the bench could get back into it, as they had a couple of games where they really couldn't. They had to put them in early tonight, and they've done a fine job.
The Boilermakers have won 7 out of the last 8 that these two teams have played on this court, and 13 out of 17. Back earlier in January 11, when Michigan won the game 75-71, Tarpley was the leading scorer for the Wolverines with 18. He also had 12 rebounds. Purdue's leading scorer was Troy Lewis. He had 20. Doug Lee had 16. Purdue with a 2-point lead now. Mitchell playing with 2 fouls. This is Gaddis. Comes out to Herb Robinson, who has 2 out of 2. 1 close, 1 in. Outside. Here is Gaddis up. No. But there's a pushing foul, and it'll be on Thompson. That's the first one on guard Thompson. At 7 on the team. Each team now is over the limit.
It's an excellent move by Matt Gaddis, coming to the baseline off of a screen, and immediate recognition by Lee on the outside. Did not hesitate and put the ball right in there, and foul was committed by Thompson. So a good free throw shooter at the line in Matt Gaddis.
Purdue's best free throw shooter, 43 out of 51 for 84%. He got the roll. His first point of the night. Purdue's 5 out of 6. Purdue is now leading by 3. It's 25-22.
Boilermakers also have Troy Lewis on the bench. One of his problems against Illinois in the last 5 minutes that he had to play so long and so hard that he just ran out of gas.
The rebound is to Jobert as it hit the front of the rim. Guard Thompson will bring it up. Purdue relaxes a little bit on the defense. Now picking it up in the half court. Jobert guarded there by Everett Stevens. He's staying right with him too. Now here's a 5-second call. And the ball belongs to Purdue on 10 turnovers for the Wolverines.
Well, the Wolverines had to have this kind of an effort here tonight to try to stay in the league race. The Boilermakers have been up to it, and their defense has really done the job. Troy Lewis has come back into the lineup. Also, here comes Mel McCants. And, you know, just a little change in the defense that Gene Cady made during the week is that jump switch that they're using out front to double up on the guard when they exchange the ball either between the guards or between the forward and the guard. And it has really confused Michigan and caused a lot of turnovers.
Wolverines have done well on the road, 6-2. The 2 losses they have came at Minnesota and at Michigan State. Everett Stevens to Troy Lewis. Goes inside to Mitchell. Turns. Almost walked. Comes out to Everett Stevens. Fires good. That's 2 in a row for Everett. And the Boilermakers lead 27-22. Biggest lead.
Michigan playing good defense on Purdue. The Boilermakers are just looking for their shots, and when they find them, they're hitting them.
Purdue is trailed by 6. They lead by 5. And the 5-point is their biggest spread. Wade out to Jobert. Purdue's in a man-to-man. 6 minutes to play. First half. Guard Thompson gives it over to Wade. Back to Thompson. Fires. Boom. Thompson gets his first basket and 4th point.
You don't hear a lot about guard Thompson, but he's an excellent shooter, handles the ball well, and doesn't make very many mistakes. And he also had a big game against Purdue in the last 5 minutes up at Michigan.
Purdue is up by 3. Michigan getting ready to make a substitution. Mitchell sends it inside. It goes off the knee of McCants. Here come the Wolverines. Jobert, a tricky dribble into the lane and a reach-in foul, and it'll be on Everett Stevens, his first.
Relford coming back into the lineup, number 40 on the front line. He's been out for a while, had a good rest. He's replacing Rice, and there is another Wolverine sitting on the sideline. I think it's Grant, who will probably be coming in for Jobert, who has been in the ball game since the start.
Now here's Doug Lee coming back in for the Boilermakers, and Everett Stevens goes out. Stevens gets a nice round of applause. He created some activity in there on defense particularly and hit a couple of shots. Jobert at the line shoots 77%. Fires his first free throw of the night. And the lead is 27-25 for Purdue. Jobert, 1 out of 1. He's got 5 points here tonight. He doesn't get this one. The ball is tipped out there, and Mitchell comes down with it. Gaddis comes down. Gives it to Troy Lewis, looking for 3 in a row. He's got 6 points, and the Boilermakers lead by 4. It's 29-25. A little more than 5 minutes to play in the first half. Guard Thompson lays it off to Jobert in the corner. Stripped away. Battle for it. It'll be a jump ball and Purdue's basketball. Substitution. Gary Grant, 25, comes in for Bill Frieder in his 6th year, as is Gene Cady here at Purdue.
Michigan really hasn't gotten into its offensive flow in the last 6 or 7 minutes. Early in the ball game, they were looking inside and doing a good job of it. Purdue's defense has taken them out of that offense.
With 5 minutes to play in the half, Purdue leads by 5. McCants out to lead. Here is Lewis. It's off the mark a little bit. McCants rebounds. Up. No. Battle for it. McCants again. Good. 6 points for him. Purdue by 6. 31-25. Good work by McCants.
He stayed right after the ball, even though the Michigan player went to the floor trying to pick up the foul. It didn't bother Mel as he put it home.
Here is the pass inside, and a reach-in foul is going to be called on Lee. His first. 9 on the team. 7 against Michigan. Coach Cady looking for his 119th win here at Purdue. His teams have lost 56 times. Pleading his case. The judge won't hear it.
The judge doesn't listen very often out on the court. He was wondering where the contact was, and from our vantage point, we couldn't see. Lee came out very quickly and reached for the basketball, and my guess is that's where he committed the foul.
Tarpley at the line. Gets his 7th point of the night. The Wolverines are 4 out of 7, cutting the lead 31-26. 4:28 left to play. Tarpley shoots 78% from the stripe. Made them both. He's got 8. Now it is 31-27. And Purdue lost the ball on the inbounds play. Michigan comes out with it. Guard Thompson stops, shoots a jumper. Good. Ooh, that was tough. Thompson has 6 points off the bench.
Michigan almost turned it over as they recovered the ball, but Thompson grabbed it and really did a fine job of getting the ball back into the hoop. Man, that was a tough shot that he took down from the baseline, but he hit it right in the middle of the bucket.
Now we're all set. Comes into Mitchell. A little full court pressure exercise there by the Wolverines. They've not done that, and that, oh, should have been a bump by Wade. No call. And Coach Katie is really upset that there was no call on that one. 4 minutes to play. First half.
One of those no harm, no foul situations.
Lewis fires in his 8th point of the night. And the Boilermakers lead 33-29. Grant on the dribble. Stops, lays it off. Here's the shot made by Relford. His 2nd basket of the night. 33-31 Purdue. 3:39 left to play. First half. This is Gaddis with the ball, and we got a pushing foul away from the ball, and it'll be on Wade. It's 8 on the team.
Coming across the baseline that time was Todd Mitchell, and Wade just decided he wasn't going to let him come across and gave him a big shove right in front of the official. So it will be Todd Mitchell going to the free throw line. Todd only has 2 points in the ball game tonight. This will be his first chance at the stripe.
Everett Stevens is going to check in for the Boilermakers. He came off the bench a while ago, did a nice defensive job, got a couple of baskets. He replaces Matt Gaddis, who's 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. 3:29 to play. The Boilermakers lead 33-31. They'll be trying to increase that now with a free throw forthcoming for Todd Mitchell. His first try of the night, produced 5 out of 7. Mitchell shoots 80% from the stripe, 3rd high on the team. That's 3 points for him. And the Boilermakers lead 34-31.
Mitchell playing in a game with 2 personal fouls, and it's critical that he doesn't get another one in the next 3.5 minutes left in his first half.
Chance is in there, 4 points for him. And I guess Boilermakers are going to take a little rest here as there's a timeout call. Oh, it's been good for the Boilermakers so far, Bob. They've had 7 turnovers. The Wolverines have 11. The Boilermakers lead by 4 with 3:29 to play here in the first half. Lewis is the leading scorer with 8 for Purdue, and Tarpley leads the other side with 8.
It's interesting that just a little defensive change that Gene Katie made during the week that we talked about a little bit earlier in the ball game, the fact that the guards are double teaming out front when that exchange is made, and it's such a quick double team that it really disorients the player with the ball, and Michigan has thrown the ball away a couple of times on that, and of course that excites the crowd here in Mackey Arena and really gives the ball club themselves a little more confidence in their defensive ability.
15 players have scored in this game, 8 for the Boilermakers and 7 for the Wolverines, and I'm sure that's what both coaches are looking for.
They're looking for a lot of people to get in the ball game. And when you look at Michigan and you go down their starting lineup and you see 4 guys in double figures and none of them very far apart, between about 16 and 12 points. So they're looking at a team that's very balanced in their scoring, which means their offense doesn't look for any one person. It makes it very difficult to stop a team like that, and that's why they're winning so many ball games.
So the Boilermakers are up 35-31. 3:29 to play in the first half. Wolverines at 19-2. The Boilermakers are 16-6, but the Wolverines lead the Big Ten by a game over Indiana and Iowa. Illinois, Michigan State, and Purdue are 2 back. Michigan State and Illinois are playing tonight. Guard Thompson takes the inbounds play. Lewis is on him. Purdue on the man-to-man. This is Relford with it. Comes outside. Gary Grant. Stopped by McCants. McCants got off his feet and got away with that. Here's the ball back out, and Purdue almost stole it, but it is picked up there by Relford. Here's a driving in, and there is a foul going to be called on Lee, I think. Lee is guilty of his second foul.
See just how quick that Michigan club is. That time the big man, Relford, way out on the court to get the ball, and he's a couple of 3 inches taller than is Lee, and he was able to go baseline on Lee very quickly, and Doug could do nothing more than put the hand on the side of his hip and try to slow him down, and just didn't work.
Michigan is 5 out of 8 at the stripe. Relford makes his 5th point of the night and first free throw. And that cuts the lead, 34-32. Relford shoots 78%, 3rd high on the team. He has 5 points here tonight. Got that one to fall. He's got 6. And that cuts the lead down to 1. 34-33. Make it 35-33. Purdue 35. Michigan 33. Stevens lays it off to Mitchell. Mitchell into the lane, backs it outside. 2.5 minutes now. Troy Lewis with 8 points, leading Purdue in the scoring tonight. Everett Stevens looks inside, and the ball is tipped away. And here come the Wolverines. Harpley stuffs it in. Harpley with his 10th point of the night, and the game is tied at 35.
Looked like Purdue was trying to run the clock that time, and they got very tentative with their offensive moves and lost their aggressiveness and threw the ball away. See what happens this time.
That was Tarpley's 10th point. He leads everybody on the floor. Here's another throwaway by Purdue, and it's going to guard Thompson. An easy one, and the Wolverines have the lead on the 8th point of the night by Thompson. It's 37-35.
Just that quickly you lose a little bit of your concentration, as Purdue did the last 2 times down on offense, and Michigan runs away with a couple of quick buckets, leads by 2.
Everett Stevens uses up the dribble out to Troy Lewis. Goes over to Lee. Now to Mitchell. Oh man, how could they do it? Here's a reach-in foul, no call, and making the steal, and all the way down is Grant for his second basket. 39-35.
Unbelievable what happened that time. The crowd here doesn't like it. Gene Cady doesn't like it. Purdue
I didn't even like it.
Well, they're just going to have to see that they're not going to call anything right now and play as physical as Michigan is.
Here is Lewis from outside. Didn't get it. Here is Tarpley coming down with it. He throws it up to Grant. Grant for the... No, he missed it. And Lee got the ball knocked away. No call. It'll be out of bounds to Purdue.
Well, in all honesty, that time it should have been goaltending on Purdue, as number 21, Everett Stevens, went up high and slapped the backboard, and you cannot do that when the ball is up on the backboard. That's why it jumped off the rim so hard and didn't go in. No call on that play. Then there was a grab. There was no call on that play, and you see Gene Cady. Well, you can't see him right now as we're looking at Bill Frieder doing his own complaining to the officials. Gene Cady on the other side talking very intently with the officials, saying, hey, let's get this thing back under control.
So with a minute to play in the first half, Purdue is down by 4. Everett Stevens brings it down. Goes to Lee. Now back to Everett Stevens. Lewis cuts down and gets it. Makes a nice move up, and he didn't get it to fall, but the rebound is up. No, rebound again by Mitchell. He stuffed it in. Mitchell, boy, he had to work for that one, but he got it.
Well, he went up a little weak the first time, and the ball fell off the rim. So the second time he said, hey, look, guys, this is the only way to score.
Michigan will work for the shot. Here is Everett Stevens in a block. His second. And the Wolverines, 7 out of 10, will go to the free throw line.
Nearly impossible out front to challenge those guards. They're just so very quick. You saw Grant that time go right around Everett Stevens, and Stevens is a very quick defensive player. And no question on the foul. There was contact. His feet were moving, and it's a blocking foul. Coming into the lineup again is Rice, number 41. He'll replace Relford.
And Grant will go to the line for the 3rd time tonight. He has missed both other attempts, but he gets this one. He's got 5. 8 out of 11 now for the Wolverines. And the lead goes to 3, 40-37.
Well, this club is really explosive, as you saw how quickly they ran off those 6 or 8 points as the Boilermakers just made a couple of mistakes.
It is now a 4-point lead, 25 seconds to play in the half. Everett Stevens to lead. Now to McCann. Stevens goes down low to Mitchell. Back out to Stevens. Sets, squares up, shoots. He's got a half a dozen. 3 out of 3 for him. That cuts the lead to 2. Here is the ball stolen by McCants as the buzzer sounds. And the two teams go to the dressing room. It is halftime. Michigan 41, Purdue 39. We'll check the individual scoring and have a halftime feature right after this. Just about set for the second half action. The Boilermakers find themselves down by 2. Each team enjoyed a 6-point lead in the first half. Michigan was up 14-8. The Boilermakers were up 31-25. In the first half, there was some pretty good individual shooting. Relford was 2 out of 2. Wade was 2 out of 2. Tarpley 4 out of 4. Thompson 3 out of 3. On the other side, Jones for Purdue 2 out of 2. Stevens 3 out of 3. Robinson 2 out of 2.
Well, this crowd of 14,123 certainly got their money's worth there in the first half. Had the dark moments for Purdue when Todd Mitchell got into foul trouble. Then it was Kip Jones coming off the bench to be the leading scorer for just a few minutes with 5 quick points. But he got in foul trouble and Michigan took off, and the Boilermakers came back from that 6-point deficit and went up by 6. To see that go away towards the end of the half, 41-39 here the second half of play. And it's a good thing to see this sold-out crowd here, and we're glad that Purdue University allowed us to do this telecast here this evening because of the fact that the ball game was sold out and they wanted the fans in Indiana to get a chance to see this ball game.
So it'll be Michigan's basketball as the second half begins. Wade will throw it in, and Jobert goes the other way, and the ball comes down to Grant. Relford and Tarpley are the other starters for the Michigan Wolverines. The Boilermakers have their original starters in there of Gaddis, Lee, Lewis, Mitchell, and McCants. Purdue is down by 2. Boilermakers with their backs against the wall, having lost their last 3. Those 3 were on the road. So they need a win desperately here. They haven't lost at home this year. From the back, McCants, his 3rd foul. First on either team in the second half.
You notice Michigan is not now doing what they did in the first half. They were handing the ball off out front in that guard exchange that they have. Now they're passing it, a little 3-foot pass to keep that Boilermaker defense from being able to double team.
Here is Grant, lays it back outside. Here is Wade up and in. Wade has a half a dozen, and the Wolverines are up 43-39.
Michigan can get the ball in that close. There's no way you're going to stop them because they just have great power players down there.
Gaddis comes out to Lee between the circles. Troy Lewis back out to Mitchell. Wanted to shoot from 16. Goes to Gaddis. Inside McCann. Short jumper. Wouldn't fall. Tarpley rebound. Lee takes it away and scores. And he's also fouled by Tarpley. His 3rd. Tarpley made a mental mistake there. Lee gets his basket. He's got 5 points. That cuts the lead 43-41. Lee trying to cut it even more.
Lee at only 6'5", certainly not afraid of Tarpley at 7-foot level, as he just immediately took the ball right back up after a little pump fake. And Tarpley made the mistake of leaning in and committing the foul. All he had to do was stand there like a tree, and he would probably have stopped the ball.
Lee 1 out of 2 tonight. On the year, 33 out of 45. He couldn't get this one, but Troy Lewis got the rebound and the basket. He's got 10, and the Boilermakers have tied it. Boy, that was a great trip down the floor.
Super hustle by Lewis, and Tarpley nearly picked up that 4th foul.
Here is Grant being guarded by Gaddis. It goes over there to Relford. Relford guarded by Lee. Now he palms the ball. It'll be out of bounds to Purdue. That's 11 turnovers for the Wolverines, 10 for Purdue. Boilermakers encouraged by head coach Gene Cady. Wolverines make a substitution. Out is Relford, in is guard Thompson. Relford goes out with 6 points. Thompson comes in with 8. Gaddis brings it up for the Boilermakers. The game is tied. Purdue was down by 2 when the period began. Here is Gaddis driving, didn't get it. Battle for the rebound. McCants can't hold it. It'll be out of bounds. It belongs to Michigan.
Good hustle by Purdue. They were on the backboard strong. The ball didn't fall, but the effort was there, and they have to just keep that up and not worry about the missed shots. Make sure they hit the next one.
Hard Thompson brings it into the forecourt for the Wolverines, ranked number 7 in the nation, atop of the Big Ten by a game over Indiana and Iowa. Here is Jobert driving, tries to lay it back, and there is a foul going to be called on Lee. He has 3, and McCants has 3. That's 2 on Purdue in the second half.
Michigan setting up now in a double post low, trying to get the ball down to the big people. They have a little bit of an interchange and a screen down low, and immediately the guards are looking to get the ball to the forward that is facing around to the basket. That time Tarpley was open, but Jobert saw a hole and went to the bucket.
A minute 41 gone by in the second half. Game is tied at 43. Purdue was down 41-39 when the period began. Comes into Wade. Outside to Grant. He looks inside. He goes to Tarpley. Tarpley driving, lays it up and in. Tarpley hasn't missed a shot yet tonight, Bob. He's got 12 points.
Great quick move by the big man as he went right to the bucket. He left McCants standing, and then Mitchell came up, and there's no way he could get up high enough.
Purdue is down by a basket. Lee goes to Troy Lewis. Looks inside. McCants is not free. He and Tarpley are really battling. Here's the shot miss, and McCants gets the rebound and ties it, and he's also fouled. And I think it'll be on Grant. It'll be his first. Second foul on the team. Basket is good. McCants has 8 points now, and the Boilermakers have tied it at 45.
When the two teams came down the court just at the beginning of that offensive series, I was watching McCants and Tarpley let McCants have it right in the jaw with an elbow. Here's that great rebound just a moment ago. There's the reach-in foul by Grant. Good call on the officiating, and of course Mel hit the bucket and has a chance for the three-point play.
He's 2 out of 2 tonight, shooting only 62%, however, on the line for the year. This one bounces off, and it's pulled off there by the Wolverines. It was Wade who got the rebound. Game is tied at 45. Underneath, the battle for it. Tarpley gets it, and he still hasn't missed. He's got 14 points, and the Wolverines lead 47-45.
Very intelligent play that time by Jobert as he went to the baseline. He saw Lee coming from the top side, so he immediately reversed and went to the bucket, creating the opening for Tarpley on the rebound.
Tarpley's 6 out of 6 now. Here's Lee outside. Jobert is on him. 2:45 gone by, second half. Lewis gives it over to Gaddis. Gaddis out to Mitchell. Mitchell on the short jumper, throws it up. No, but there's a foul going to be called, and it'll be on Jobert. And the Boilermakers will have 2 free shots coming. They've missed their last 2. Both of those here in the second half. Lee missed 1, and McCants missed 1 on 1-and-1s.
Michigan is getting a lot more aggressive and physical, actually, on the defensive end of the court as they're starting to really put the body on Purdue, and we'll have to watch that and see how that wears on the Boilermakers as we get down towards the end of the game. Purdue really only 8 players deep, and if they can't get those guys out of there, they do get tired.
Mitchell is 3 out of 3. He's got 7 points, and Purdue is 8 out of 12 now, cutting the lead 47-46. Todd Mitchell, 6'7" sophomore out of Toledo, trying to tie it, and does. 8 points for him. 47-47. Tarpley brings it into the forecourt. He's working with 3 fouls. Here's Jobert stopping, lays it underneath. There's a reach-in foul going to be called on Purdue. And I think it'll be on Lee, or Gaddis. Gaddis' first foul. That's 3 on the team.
Boilermakers did get the double team out front, but Jobert broke it by going baseline again, then made the pass. Gaddis tried to cover up with the big man down inside that he was isolated on. All he could do was foul.
This is the 98th game in this series. Purdue leads it 55-42. Wade goes back to Grant in the corner. Off the mark. Purdue rebounds. Mitchell, Purdue's leading rebounder, got it. Gaddis brings it up, gives to Troy Lewis. Short jumper, rolls off. No. Jobert reaches the ball. Jobert comes down, tries to throw it through, and gives it to guard Thompson, and he goes through for his 10th point of the night. And the Wolverines lead by 2 again.
Michigan so very quick off the rebound to get the ball down the court. They had 3 guys really in great position on that fast break.
Gaddis goes to Mitchell in the circle. Over to Lee. Troy Lewis gives it to Gaddis. In underneath, Mitchell turns, fires, no, foul. Going to be called on Wade. It'll be his second. That's 4 already on the Wolverines, and we've not yet played 4 minutes.
Purdue needs some defensive series here to get the game back under control and get a 2 to 4 point lead. And I see 2 or 3 Boilermakers standing out around the free throw line with their hands on their legs and hanging onto the bottom of those shorts, and that generally says, man, am I tired.
This is Gaddis. The alley-oop to Mitchell, and it's good. Gaddis throwing to Mitchell. Mitchell's got 10. He and Lewis have 10 apiece, and the game's tied at 49. Gilbert working against Lee. Throws it inside to Tarpley. Thompson outside. Wouldn't stay in there. Tarpley underneath. Offensive foul on him. Tarpley's 4th foul. That's 12 turnovers. Purdue has the basketball.
Mel McCants and Tarpley, Roy Tarpley, both in with 3 fouls. McCants makes the big play, and it'll be Tarpley picking up number 4.
And we're going to have a timeout with 15:52 to play here in the game. The game between Purdue and Michigan. 49-49. It's all tied in this Big Ten battle at West Lafayette.
The day we moved into our first home.
What a day.
All we really had was a watercolor that we got on our honeymoon.
Fireplace.
Well, we've lived in lots of different houses since then, but they've had one thing in common. They've all been protected by a homeowner's policy from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Over the fireplace.
Oh. Actually, they've had 2 things in common.
Come on in. The Culligan's fine.
Mom, do we wash these in hot or cold Culligan?
A Culligan water conditioner saves money on soaps, reduces dishwasher spots too. So maybe today you call it water, but tomorrow?
The future calls.
Hey, Culligan man.
The future calls for Culligan.
As a special new customer rental offer, you can rent a Culligan with the first month's rental free.
For years, I wanted a Camaro, but my wife always said, too showy for simple folks like us. Then I went out to Blossoms and saw this new 3rd-generation Camaro. I couldn't resist. It's trimmer, more beautiful than ever. It's a little showy, but I'm sure I'll stay as sweet and humble as I've always been.
We'll put you in a car without putting you in a bind. Blossom Chevrolet.
Lord, dear good people, don't forget my bowling shoes, Mama.
Glad to have you with us for this Big Ten battle between Purdue and Michigan, and we're tied at 49-49.
Well, it's been one of those kind of games when some really great things have happened. There's a pass a moment ago to Todd Mitchell on a super backdoor play as he tipped the ball in on the alley-oop, and he was one of those guys with his hands on his legs that I thought was getting tired.
We have Robert Henderson, number 15, 6'9" senior, checked in the place of Tarpley, who got his 4th foul just a few seconds ago. Okay, the Boilermakers could grab the lead here with a basket or a point on this trip down. They were trailing by 2 at the beginning of the half. It's tied at the moment. Here's the ball going to Mitchell. He almost lost it. Wade has got him. Lee comes out, and Gilbert is able to knock the ball away. It belongs to Purdue.
Michigan that time was set up in a defense to steal the ball, and they were really looking for the double team. They had Gaddis all tied up. Gilbert was playing a zone, just waiting to steal the ball, get in those passing lanes.
Gaddis comes in and gets the pass. Traveling down to the baseline, uses up the dribble. Mitchell outside, trying to make a move on Wade, and Wade does a little acting. Lee outside, it's off its mark. Here's the battle for it, and a foul is going to be called on Michigan as Mitchell went up for it. Henderson got him. First foul, 6 on the team.
Both of those guys high in the air to get that ball, and the ball bounced out long, and as Henderson tried to adjust to the ball, he ran into Todd Mitchell, who was on the outside. Boilermakers get the ball back.
Purdue's basketball, Lee to throw it in, and he's got to get it in, and does, into the corner. Lewis couldn't get it. Rebounded by Henderson. Michigan trying to break a tie. Gilbert guarded by Lee. Into the lane, jumper good. First basket, second half, he's got 7, and the Wolverines lead 51-49.
Gobert has such great talent. He could take this club all by himself and lead it if he wanted to, but he's an unselfish player, and he knows where the ball has to go at the right time. That was just a great move.
30 seconds on the shot clock, 15-10 on the game clock. Lewis goes inside, Mitchell stripped. Guard Thompson comes up with the ball. All the way down, lays it up, and it falls off. Wade is there to put it back up and in. He's got 8, 2 of those baskets in the second half, and now it's a 4-point lead for Michigan. Gaddis brings it up. Troy Lewis back to Gaddis. Out to Troy. Lee in the corner. Troy Lewis on the drive. There's a collision, and a blocking foul is going to be called in Henderson. His second. Purdue will go to the line on a 1-and-1. But this, they're going to give the basket. They give the basket to Lewis. He's got 12, and it is 53-51.
It's a tough call to be made by the official. There you see Henderson getting in pretty good position, but it looked like he put his hands on the hips of Lewis and shoved off, and that might have been the decision factor there, the fact that he did do that. Otherwise, he had pretty good position on the play. It went Purdue's way. The Boilermakers get a bucket and a break.
Purdue's second leading free throw shooter at 81%. Troy Lewis, first trip to the line tonight. Looking for his 13th point, and got it. And Purdue is back within 1. It's 53-52.
Boilermakers were in just a little bit of a lull at that point. This gets them back into the ball game and a chance to stay with Michigan.
This is Henderson, bounces it off, and the shot is a beauty by Grant. First basket, second half, he's got 8, and the lead is 3 to Michigan, 55-52.
Wolverines make it look so easy. They come down and run a little play, and they find Grant out about 17 feet, and he just knocks it home.
Lewis in the circle, off to Mitchell. Everett Stephen, who checked in, makes a cut to the left. They go to the other side, now back out to Everett. Here's the alley-oop, but it's off the board. And here is Grant coming down with it. Stops, throws it over to the left side. Guard Thompson throws it up and in, and he's got 12, and he's off the bench, and the lead is now 57-52. And the Boilermakers want a timeout with 13:38 to play here in the game. And we have a score of Michigan 57, the Boilermakers 50.
We like to see you smile, that feeling, good feeling, that smile on your face, says you like that kind of place. Hooks likes to see you smile. Hooks is the name you trust, and we won't stop trying to give you our best. Hooks likes to see you smile, we like to see you smile.
You can save more than $1,600 on a new 4-cylinder Cutlass Sierra, and that's on top of the other tax time savings.
We're out to sell every new car we can during this sell-a-thon. No reasonable offer will be refused. My lot is full of new cars. They're priced to move. Come in now and save. During our tax time sell-a-thon, you can get a super deal on a great new Oldsmobile. Come in today.
Hurry, deals this good can't last forever.
With Bob Ford, this is Joe Pate. We're back at Mackey Arena. The Boilermakers are down to Michigan 57-52. A moment ago, it was tied 49-49.
Well, there's one of the old camera guys working up way at the top of the arena. Chuck Mills in the red jacket there. He's been running the tight camera here tonight, for whatever that means to those of you at home. As we've got a good game going here, as the Boilermakers had just a momentary lull as they did in the first half, and Michigan quickly shoots out to that 5-point advantage.
So here come the Boilermakers, down 57-52. Everett Stevens on the dribble. Guard Thompson has done a nice job since coming off the bench. 12 points. Here's Lee using up the dribble, comes out to Troy Lewis. Troy goes to Todd Mitchell. Everett Stevens with the ball. Here's Todd Mitchell. Everett Stevens wound up on the floor. Sticky defense for the Wolverines.
Michigan really has Purdue forced out on the court.
Everett Stevens drills in. He's 4 out of 4. He's got 8 points. And we have an official's timeout over there. A question from the bench.
The clock did not start, Joe. That's the question. It's still at 13:38 where it was when we began play.
They must have been keeping it over there. So while we have this timeout, we'll take a look here at the scoring. Boilermakers are led by Troy Lewis with 13. Mitchell has 10. McCants and Stevens have 8 apiece. 4 points by Robinson, 5 for Jones, 5 for Lee, 1 for Gaddis. I say Robinson had 4 and Jones had 5. On the other side, Tarpley is leading the team in scoring with 14, but he hasn't played in about 3 minutes. He went out with 4 fouls. I tell you, I think makes the difference in this game has been guard Thompson with 12 points off the bench.
Done a real fine job, Joe. It was Henderson up at Ann Arbor that really hurt the Boilermakers. Now guard Thompson is just playing a great game here, shooting the eyes out of the bucket.
He's averaging only 4.4. He's got 12 here. Grant has 8. Wade has 8. Relford has 6. Rice has 2. And Jobert has 7.
You know, the Wolverines are still shooting 73% from the field on 24 of 33. The Boilermakers at 58%, 22 of 38. But Michigan is just horrid here as they're shooting the ball both inside and outside. It doesn't really matter to them, as we saw Thompson hit about a 12-footer a moment ago, and then it was Grant from way outside at about 18 to 19 feet nailed one. So the Wolverines are really clicking here tonight.
Oh, the clock is not working, and they'll keep it on the side. Or now they get it to work. 13-10 to play in the game. Here comes Jobert, a little tricky dribble there. Everett Stevens is picking up Wade. Double team now on Jobert, but he frees himself from Lewis and Stevens. Here's a drive down. Thompson back out. Jobert saves the ball. Fires it back out to Henderson. Grant with it, sends it inside, goes into Wade. Nice move by Wade. He's got 10, and the lead is 5 again for Michigan.
Well, it's a difficult pass to make to get over the top, especially when you have a guy like Mitchell that can leap. Just a well-executed play by Michigan.
This is Troy Lewis, comes out to Mitchell. Now to Everett Stevens. He's perfect tonight. He's got 10 points, 5 out of 5. 59-56, Michigan. Here is guard Thompson to Jobert, fires off the mark. Battle for the rebound, but the push is going to be called. And let's see who it is on. McCants, I think, was guilty of the push. That'll be his 4th. And now Purdue has a player with 4, and Kip Jones is going to be sent in to replace him. So he gets 4 fouls with 12:06 to play.
Jones had a great time in the first half as he scored 5 quick points before getting into foul trouble. He'll be matched up way down inside, probably with Henderson after this series, with the Boilermakers will be in a zone.
All comes in. Grant shoots. No. Rebound. Henderson throws it inside. Knocked away by Purdue. I think it was hit last maybe by Troy Lewis.
Lewis got a hand on it. Very difficult for the folks here to see that, but he did get a hand on it. Now I think we're having a clock problem again as the official will go over and talk to the official scorer.
And that's what they're doing. The Boilermakers play again here at home on Saturday afternoon. It's a 2 o'clock game as Michigan State comes calling. Michigan State is playing at Illinois tonight. Michigan State, Purdue, and Illinois are all tied 2 games out of the lead. Indiana and Iowa are a game behind these Michigan Wolverines.
It's a real problematical game on Saturday too, Joe, because if Purdue wins here tonight, they're going to expend a lot of energy to get it done. There'll be a natural high, and there could be a letdown. If they don't win, the emotional drain on the ball club here tonight will make it very difficult for them to get up on Saturday. So they've got a real problem either way it goes.
Boilermakers then, as we've indicated, will go on the road. They'll play at Wisconsin a week from tonight, at Northwestern on Saturday night. Then they come home to play Ohio State, Indiana, and Illinois on the road at Minnesota and at Iowa. We have an official's timeout now, and with this timeout, we'll tell you that the score is Michigan 59 and Purdue 56.
We got what it takes, true value. We got what it takes.
You're going to have to face the truth eventually, so make sure it's an accurate reading from the Borg Oval Scale, just $9.99 while supplies last. Choose your decorator color with a vinyl mat that's easy to clean. Look for the February Bargain of the Month banner at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
We got what it takes, true value.
to take for granted how much some people have until you're reminded how much others don't. These days, it takes a special kind of person to help make things better for all of us. You've always known Hook's pharmacists are an important part of your healthcare needs. It's good to know they're an important part of your community, too.
Hooks likes to see you smile. We like to see you smile.
Bob, we've had 15 players score in this game, and in the second half, each team has had 5 players to score. So it's a close basketball game, 59-56. Michigan leading. Michigan led by 2 when the second half began. The Boilermakers tied it. It was tied at 43, tied at 45, 47, 49. Right now it is a 3-point lead for the Michigan Wolverines, led in scoring by Roy Tarpley with 14. Now they got the clock almost reset, 12:03 to play in the game. They're putting the score up there, and then we'll be ready to go. There's concern on Boilermaker Pete there.
I think there would be concern on the part of both coaches now that we've had a long lull, and see whether that affected one team or another. If someone could come out hot here, especially Michigan with that 3-point lead, they could bury the opponent very quickly.
All right, Jobert throws it into Henderson, out to Grant, now to guard Thompson, to Jobert. They got 2 men around Wade. They got 2 men around Henderson now. Whoever goes in the middle, they put 2 men around them.
Those 2 players are very strong around the basket.
Guard Thompson, long, no. And Henderson kind of rubbed against Herb Robinson, who checked in, but there was no call. Robinson came off the bench and did a nice job in the first half. Got 2 quick baskets. Mitchell with the ball. Goes to Everett Stevens. Purdue needs a basket here. 59-56 is the lead. Here's the pass outside to Herb Robinson. Troy Lewis will run the show there now. Drives down. Lays it back out to Mitchell. Everett Stevens will try to get it going now with nearly 9 minutes gone in the second half. Now he got a foul away from the ball, and Wade is guilty of it, and he almost got a technical. He was really close. 3 fouls on Wade.
Well, he got 3 good shots at Todd Mitchell before they finally called it. Here it comes. Here comes Wade. Bang, right into Mitchell as Todd nearly goes to the floor. Both of those players very strong, very big athletes, competing very hard defensively and offensively out there. And it'll be Todd at the free throw line with a 1-and-1 as the Boilermakers try to get back in it, down by 3. Still more than half of the second half to play.
Purdue is 10 out of 14 at the line. Todd Mitchell tonight is 4 out of 4. And 3 field goals for a total of 10. He has 11. That cuts the lead, 59-57. Here's the bonus try now for Todd Mitchell, the sophomore out of Toledo. Second leading scorer for the Boilermakers this year, averaging 15-6. He gets them both. The lead is only 1, 59-58. Purdue scored 4 unanswered points. Grant, sideline left. Making a move on Everett Stevens. Shoots short. Air ball Robinson. And then Purdue throws it away. 12 turnovers for Purdue. 12 for Michigan.
And the Wolverines are leaving the door open for Purdue as they're missing shots now. The Boilermakers making mistakes by not getting that ball down the court with an opportunity to score as Welford is going to come into the lineup now. And he will replace Grant.
Now we had some kind of a difficulty on the sideline there. And was there a technical call? Yes. A technical was called, and we believe that it might have been on Wade. He was frustrated on the other end a while ago and got very close to getting one there. Now let's see. Let's check this out.
Technical foul has been called on number 25 of Michigan.
That's Grant. They're going to call the technical on Grant and not Wade. A technical on Grant. And at the free throw line to shoot the technical will be Mitchell. Trying to tie the game. He's 6 out of 6. Oh, he got the roll. 13 points for him, and he ties it on the technical, and Purdue gets the basketball midcourt.
That's a big break for Purdue as well, because Boilermakers had just gotten a rebound on a bad shot and thrown the ball away. Now they get it back. Michigan doesn't get a chance to score, and Purdue has a chance to go ahead.
That's 7 out of 7 for Todd Mitchell. Game is tied at 59. Purdue could get the lead right here. Todd Mitchell, guarded by Wade, makes a move, and Wade is guilty of a foul, and it'll be his 4th. And Tarpley has 4. That's 9 on the team. Purdue will be at the line.
Todd Mitchell doing a fine job of keeping cool under pressure, as Wade has really gotten frustrated now with Mitchell trying to get back and play the tough defense. And Todd made a good move. Wade picked up the foul. He's going to have to go to the bench, and it's Tarpley that looks like will come in for him. So the Wolverines facing some foul trouble, as they did in Ann Arbor, although it didn't make much difference up there.
For you people in the Lafayette area, a traveler's advisory has been issued. We have about a quarter of an inch of snow on the ground at the moment. It is continuing to snow. Todd Mitchell, 7 out of 7 at the line, leads Purdue with Troy Lewis in 13 points tonight. Purdue's 13 out of 17, and Mitchell is trying to break the tie, and he does. 14 points for him, and Purdue leads 60 to 59. The Boilermakers have scored 6 unanswered points. 8 out of 8 for Mitchell. He was 13 out of 13, I think, in one game this year. He fires, and he gets another one. 15 points for him. Purdue 15 out of 19, and now leading by 2, having scored 7 unanswered points. 29 seconds away from the midway point of the second half. Guard Thompson working with the ball. He just had a technical called on him a few seconds ago. Gobert with the ball. He fires for a long range. It didn't go. But the ball is out of bounds, as Herb Robinson couldn't hold on the rebound.
Very physical under that basket. Herb had a hold of it, felt the pressure of the Wolverines behind him, and as he turned his head, he lost grip on the ball, and Michigan got a break and will get it back.
Gobert will throw it in. Way outside to guard Thompson. Gobert fires off the mark. Tarpley can't hold it. It'll be out of bounds to Michigan. Tarpley is playing with 4 fouls, remember.
We talked a moment ago after that long timeout that if one team came out flat, it could really cause them some problems. Michigan has come out flat. It just depends how long it takes them to get back into the flow of the game.
Purdue leads by 2. Robinson comes out to Troy Lewis. Everett Stevens, he almost walked. Mitchell from 16 didn't get the roll, and Kip Jones got the rebound. Comes out to Everett Stevens. Herb Robinson off to Kip Jones. Here's Herb Robinson on the drive, up, no, and is taken away by Tarpley. Guard Thompson into the forecourt. Lays it off to Gobert. Shot is in and out, and rebounded by Mitchell. Stevens brings it another way. Purdue leads by 2.
Wolverines still flat. They can't get their offense going. They're losing some confidence. Purdue needs to score some baskets.
Purdue has scored 7 unanswered. Troy Lewis couldn't get it. And a foul is going to be called, and I think it'll be a charge on Lewis. His first, 5 on the team.
It's about 3 in a row that Purdue brought the ball down and not able to get a bucket, as Michigan has had some problems with their offense. Had some good shots that just wouldn't fall. Purdue on the backboard, but offensively they just can't make it happen.
Now we have a trouble with the scoreboard again, and now they're resetting the score. All of a sudden it just disappeared, but the Boilermakers lead 61-59. We have 9:13 to play in tonight's Big Ten battle.
One of the things that might be problematical for the coaches at this point is that there's such a long time left in the game, and the emotional pitch of the game right now is so very high. You wonder just how long the athletes can hang on to that. Can they go another 9 minutes with this much pressure and emotion flowing in their bodies?
So here come the Wolverines trying to tie it. It was 59-54 Michigan. Now it is 61-59 Purdue. Purdue's in a zone. One of the rare times they've done that in this particular game. Grant back into the game. That's he on the right wing. And here is guard Thompson with 14. He moves into high point honors with Tarpley as he ties the game at 61.
Michigan has cooled off some. They're shooting at a 62% clip for the ball game now. Remember, they were up about 75%.
Everett Stevens brings it out. Gaddis. Having replaced Lewis, Kip Jones off the mark. Battle for the rebound. There's going to be a foul, and it'll be called on Purdue. Gaddis is guilty of his second foul, and both of those have come in the second half. That's 6 on Purdue in this stanza.
Boilermakers not getting the shots that they want. Kip Jones has not taken very many from out there while he's been at Purdue, and I'm sure Gene Cady would like to see him get a little bit closer to the bucket, and the Boilermakers work that offense, see if they can't get some points on the board while Michigan's in the lull.
Robinson, Mitchell, and Jones along the front line. Everett Stevens and Gaddis are the guards. Guard Thompson brings it down for Michigan. He's working with Grant. Now Henderson will go outside. Here's Grant setting, shooting. Good. Grant pumps in his 10th point. There was also a foul called on Everett Stevens. It'll be his third. That's 7 on the team, and the basket gives Michigan the lead, 63-61.
Well, I think the Wolverines are back in the flow now. They've hit 2 from the outside. Again, that's where they were so successful earlier when the Boilermakers tried that zone off of a couple of out-of-bounds plays. So Purdue in that position where they need to get their offense rolling again. Michigan has found the range, and boy, when they get it going, they're hard to stop.
Purdue is 8 out of 10 at the free throw line in the second half. Michigan's first free throw of the second half. And the lead now is 64-61. Boy, it can really swing. Here's Kip Jones to Gaddis. Grant is on him. Here's Herb Robinson driving. No. Rebounded by Mitchell. And Robinson both got tangled up, and they walked. Coach Cady removes his coat. Substitution, Doug Lee is in for Purdue. Herb Robinson is out. Lewis is back in. And Everett Stevens is out. So they have the original starters except McCants, and Jones is in there in place of him. McCants has 4 fouls. Tarpley's in there with 4. He and Jones are really going at it. Here's the ball lost out of bounds by guard Thompson. 13 turnovers for Michigan, 14 for Purdue. We have a timeout, 7:53 to play in the game. And we've got a battle with the score. Michigan 64, the Purdue Boilermakers 61.
Small load, huh?
Yours too.
Maybe we could wash them together.
Maybe.
It's on me.
So's the ring around the collar. We'll use my whisk. Tough stains like this need whisk. Whisk does a better job. And when whisk gets that ring around the collar...
Our whole wash is clean. Give you a ring?
Let's stick to collars.
Whisk gets ring around the collar and your whole wash clean.
Introducing Flexible Serve Stovetop Stuffing. Now just 1 scoop per person makes a little or a lot of that great stovetop taste. In one simple step, it's as easy to make it for 8 as it is for 5, as it is for 2,
New Flexible Serve Stovetop Stuffing,
as it is for 1.
Now Stovetop's got your number.
The Michigan Wolverines atop the league with a mark of 7-2 and 19-2 overall. Lead the Boilermakers by 3 at the moment, 64-61. 7:53 remaining to be played in the game. When play resumes, and it is about to, it'll be the Boilermakers basketball in its backcourt.
Really can't put enough emphasis on how important this time down the floor is for Purdue. Had a couple of times with the ball that it had good opportunities, but it didn't fall. They need to get a bucket, stay close.
Lee comes out to Troy Lewis. Gaddis with the ball. Gaddis hasn't scored a field goal yet. 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. Troy Lewis with 15. The same as Mitchell. Lee has 5 points. Scored a basket here in the second half. Mitchell uses up the dribble, goes to Kip Jones. Here's Lee. Looks inside. Nothing there. Lee turns, puts it up. No. Battle for the rebound. Jones. Battle again. Puts it up. No. Battle for the rebound. Mitchell can't hold it. But there's a foul on the play, and it'll be on Henderson. He is third, and all 3 of those have come in the second half.
So break for Purdue as they try to get the ball in. Again, it's got a lid on it. They've gotten inside good. Kip Jones did a super job getting up onto the backboard. Here comes a shot. Look at Kip work for position. So he battles it up once, comes back and gets it again. Gets it caught up on Lee as he goes up to the basket. Then Purdue nearly has it again. Mitchell will go to the free throw line as he was fouled by Henderson.
He's 9 out of 9, Bob.
Todd's been hitting the free throws.
Purdue's 15 out of 19. There's the first miss. Here's the battle for Tarpley. Pulls it down. Art Thompson on the dribble. 7 minutes left to play in the game. Michigan by 3. Grant with the ball. Henderson goes inside to Tarpley, knocked away from him, but a reach-in is going to be called on Troy Lewis, his second. And the Wolverines going to go to the free throw line.
Kind of been the epitaph for Purdue lately, as they've been able to get the opportunities to get the lead and get things going for them, but just have not been able to get over the hump. Again here this evening, they've had opportunities the last 4 times down the court to get good shots and good baskets. It just has not fallen as Mel McCants, number 45, with 4 personal fouls, comes back into the lineup for Kip Jones, who's played very well here this evening for Purdue.
Roy Tarpley with 14 points is 2 out of 2 at the free throw line. Wolverines have shot 1 free throw in the second half. On the game, 10 out of 13. This is rebound Lee. Gaddis will bring it up.
3-point lead still. Looks like a million in this game as Purdue has not been able to score, but Michigan hangs on defensively.
Mitchell with the ball. Here's Gaddis. Lays it off to Lee. Inside to McCants. Turns. And a reach in on Henderson, I think. Henderson's 4th foul. He is the 3rd Wolverine with 4. Henderson, Tarpley, and Wade.
Mel McCants makes a good ball fake to the outside, and Henderson comes down to try to steal it. He's just not as quick as those little guards that can get in there and flip it away as he nails the arms of Mel McCants, who will go to the free throw line.
Purdue is 7 out of 9 in the first half. Missed the first 2, made the next 8. Then missed 1. McCants at the line. He's 2 out of 3 tonight. Ooh. The 2-shot violation, so he'll try again. Jobert comes in. Thompson goes out. Wade comes in. Henderson goes out. 6:28 to play in the game.
We'd like to ask that the individual in the crowd who has an air horn, please refrain from using it. Thank you very much.
Here is McCants, the sophomore out of Chicago, who's missed his last 2 after hitting his first 2. Elvin McCants fires and didn't get it. Tarpley rebound. Boy, those were 2 big misses. 6:20 to play in the game. Michigan by 3. Needs strong defense here. Gobert with it, comes out to Tarpley. McCants is on him. Here's Relford, back out to Gobert. Wade to Grant. Goes inside. Here is a move. No basket. A foul is going to be called on Lee. That's 4 on him. So the Boilermakers have McCants with 4 and Lee with 4.
Belford really worked hard that time to get that good position down about the 7 or 8 foot mark on the lane, and when they get the ball inside to him, it's just nearly impossible to stop him because he's so strong and has great legs where he can get up above the player. That time he went to the bucket, and Lee tried to put the pressure on him but just committed the foul.
Belford 2 out of 2 tonight. He didn't get this one. The battle for the rebound. Gobert got it, but a foul is going to be called on Jabbar as he blocked out trying to get the ball. That's his 3rd foul. 20 fouls against Michigan in this game. 20 fouls against Purdue in this game.
It has been a rugged one. It's one of those games you need to wear a helmet. Protect yourself out there because it has been rugged inside. It's been rugged out on the court as these 2 teams are playing like this one was for the league championship.
Boilermakers have missed the last 3 after hitting the previous 8 after missing the previous 2. Here is Lewis at the line. He's 1 out of 1, 13 points. Didn't get this one to roll in. Rebounded by Tarpley. He and Wade had him blocked out pretty good.
Really did. Purdue missing opportunities, and they just can't afford to do that against Michigan.
Here's an indoor. Boy, I tell you, Relford came in the back door and scored his 8th point, and the lead is 66-61.
Looking at the missed free throws, Purdue is in just very deep water at the moment. They need to score almost immediately to get back in it.
Here's Troy Lewis with the ball. Herb Robinson at the top of the key. Gaddis. Over to Mitchell, driving, scoring Mitchell. He's got 17, 66, 63, 5:11 left to play. Gene Cady off the bench, encouraging the crowd to get with it. And the crowd of 14,123 responds. Grant with the ball, guarded there by Gaddis. Comes out to Jobert, short jumper, throws it up and in. And there's also a foul on Troy Lewis, his 3rd. Jobert has 9 points, and the lead is 5 again for the Wolverines.
Jobert is so very good at finding that little hole, that little seam in the defense. That time he saw the good job by Lewis to come out and overplay the ball, but when he got it, then Troy was out of position. As we look at Doug Lee, who just came into the ball game, and Jobert took it right to the basket. That little jump shot, as he controls it so well. Now he has chance for 3.
1 out of 2 at the free throw line tonight. 77% on the year. He got it to fall. He has 10. Wolverines are 11 out of 16, and the lead is 6. 69-63, matching the 6-point lead that the Wolverines had in the first half. Here's a steal by Tarpley, but the Boilermakers get it back. Lewis goes to Gaddis. Lee back to Gaddis. A little more than 4.5 minutes to play in the game. Lewis from way outside. It wouldn't stay in there. Here is Mitchell, almost knocked off his feet and scores his 19th point. 69-65, Michigan.
Boy, Mitchell really playing a game on the backboard. Remember, he picked up a lot of fouls early in the ball game, too, very quickly, and had to sit down. But boy, has he played with a vengeance since then.
Gobert uses up the dribble. Tarpley gets it. Way back outside. 4 minutes left to play in the game. 4-point lead for the Michigans. Tarpley outside. Tarpley throws it underneath. And a foul. Lee. And that'll be 5 on him, I believe.
Foul is on number 20 for
Doug Lee commits his 5th foul, and he'll leave with 3 minutes and 56 seconds to play in the game. He was 1 out of 3 at the line, a total of 5 points tonight. Coach Cady will try to make his decision.
78, Wisconsin 69.
It'll be Herb Robinson in for Lee. And at the free throw line is Relford, 2 out of 3 tonight. 11 out of 16 for the Wolverines. Relford's 9th point. The lead is 5, 70-65. Relford has 10 points. And we're going to have a timeout now with 3 minutes and 56 seconds to play in the game. The score is Michigan 71, the Boilermakers 65.
Your family could have new furniture and your favorite movies in your home tonight thanks to Easy Living. Now, buy this living room or this bedroom for just $777. Now, that's less than $50 a month, and get this VHS video player free. That's right, a free VHS video player with any new living room or bedroom. Easy Living has always been your home of credit. Now, you can have new furniture and a VHS video player for less than $50 a month. Easy Living, you're a great furniture store.
Announcing a special offer at Wendy's.
Another burger offer. Whoopee.
But our offer starts with a quarter pound of fresh ground beef.
Okay, Wendy's, the fresh part, I'll give you.
Served hot off the grill with cheese and crisp bacon.
A bacon cheeseburger? Oh, Wendy's, you're reaching me.
Then we top it with your choice of fresh toppings.
And the offer?
Now you can get it all for only $1.49. Wendy's Bacon Cheeseburger. For a limited time, only $1.49.
Indiana was the winner over Wisconsin tonight, 78-69. The Wisconsin Badgers were leading at halftime, 34-31. But the Hoosiers came back to win. They're 7th in the league to go 7-3 and keep pace with Michigan.
Michigan really hanging on here tonight. They went a long, long time in a lull that Purdue just couldn't get over the hump as the Wolverines led 64-61 for about 4 minutes. Boilermakers had some opportunities to hit free throws. They wouldn't fall. A couple of layups wouldn't fall, and Michigan now has pushed that lead 71-65.
Matching its previous long lead in the first half. Each team led by 6 in the first half. Purdue needing a basket this time down the trip. Here's Troy Lewis coming out to help. Gaddis will run the show outside, working against Gobert. Gaddis goes down, stops, fires it up there, no good. Battle for the rebound, Michigan, and a walking violation on the Wolverines. Purdue gets a break there. As Wade came down with the ball, and his feet slipped. It's a travel.
He might have had a little help. Todd Mitchell was on his back pretty good, and Todd backed away very quickly, and the play went for Purdue as they'll have the ball back, and they need some baskets.
Both Tarpley and Wade are playing out there with 4 fouls. 3:34 to play. Ball inbounds to Lewis and out to Gaddis. Herb Robinson looks to Lewis. Out of Mitchell. Here's Gaddis down the lane. Short jumper, no. Battle for the rebound. Tarpley deflected into the hands of Grant. Gobert brings it down, lays it back. Tarpley hasn't missed yet. Tarpley has 16, and the Wolverines move away to an 8-point lead. It's the biggest of the night.
Why this Michigan club has been rated so high in the country all year long. They just play with you, take care of you, and all of a sudden they'll zoom out to 6-8 points, and it's just very difficult to make it up against them.
Here's Mitchell with the ball. Needing help. Out to McCants. Out to Herb Robinson. Fires. Good. Robinson. Boy, that was big. 6 points for him. 73-67. Wade into the forecourt. Wade all the way down. Short jumper. Oh, uncontested. 12 points for him. 75-67 Michigan.
We talked earlier about all the pressure that Michigan put on Purdue, and Boilermakers are tired, it looks to me like, out on the court, and they're having a hard time battling now.
Here is Mitchell scoring. 21 for him. 75-69 Michigan. Now here's a foul down on the other end, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Michigan. It'll be on Relford. He has 3. 2:15, 2:19 to play in the game.
Troy Lewis was the benefactor of that hit as he and Relford were going for the ball, and they both went down very, very hard, and neither one of them wanted to get up very quickly as they kind of nursed their ills and sore muscles as they went down battling for that basketball.
Boilermakers have lost their last 3 games, all of those on the road. That's the first time since December of '83 that Purdue has lost as many as 3 in a row. It has not lost 4 straight since dropping 6 in a row in December and January of the '81-'82 season. Now Michigan wants a timeout. It's called with 2:19 to play in the game, and the Michigan Wolverines have a 75-69 lead over the Purdue Boilermakers.
Come on, we got to get going. Come on, we got to get going.
Give me your car keys.
What?
Give me your car keys. I'm driving.
Relax, will ya? I'm okay.
Then how come you're slurring my words?
Oh, sorry.
A guy your size is legally drunk after a few beers.
What about a guy your size?
1 beer and I'm stiff as a board.
So that's why you only had a soft drink, huh?
That's right. You gotta drive, don't drink.
You want to know something?
What's that?
You're pretty smart.
Yeah.
For a dummy.
This message brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance and your Indiana State Police.
Highland Appliances International event is commanding worldwide attention.
Highland! Split up! Hello, you! We require jumbo savings, oh boy!
Here's something with 50 watts per channel.
Oh boy!
Save on this RCA VHS video recorder with wireless remote, just $268.
Where Platchny?
50 watts per channel, baby kicks.
Sail in Saturday.
We repeat again, there's a traveler's advisory in the Lafayette area. Maybe a ½ inch of snow or so, and it's continuing to fall. Boilermakers are down 75-69 with 2:19 left to play. And the Boilermakers will have a man at the free throw line when play resumes, and these free throws are very important. The Boilermakers had 8 in a row, but they have missed the last 4 times they've been to the free throw line.
Troy Lewis is the man to step up there as he and Relford went together a moment ago when Relford fouled out of the ball game, and Troy was up a minute ago at the free throw line. He had hit his last free throw to give him 13 points. He missed the one that he tried a few minutes ago, and he'll have a chance at a 1-on-1 again.
13 points tonight for the sophomore out of Anderson, Purdue's leading scorer, and it bounces in there for 14. Well, the Boilermakers broke that drought there at the free throw line of 4 in a row, cutting the lead 75-70, and the pressure continues. Troy meets it, 15 for him. Now it is 75-71, and Tarpley tries to come through, but a blocking foul is going to be called on McCants, and it'll be 5. Didn't get there soon enough, Bob.
Well, Mel was in position to step up and get in and get the foul created against Tarpley, but he had just a moment of hesitation, and as he did that, he had to duck, and he tried to get away from the contact. Couldn't do it, and Big Mel will go out of the ball game tonight after scoring 8 points. 6 of those coming in the first half of play, and Tarpley, who has been absolutely outstanding in this ball game, even though he's had foul trouble, will step up the line looking for point number 17.
He hit his first 2 free throws tonight and then missed one. Purdue will bring in Mac Gaddis to replace McCants. So the Boilermakers now have 3 guards, Bob.
Very, very small lineup in the ball game. Michigan also going with 3 guards, with guard Thompson and Grant playing out front, and Jobert probably would be considered the forward in that bunch.
Tarpley got 18 points in the victory at Michigan, and the ball rolls off, and Mitchell comes down with it. Well, that's a big miss. 2:09 to play. Gaddis comes down. Goes to Herb Robinson. Now out to Everett Stevens. Everett hasn't missed tonight. 5 out of 5. Here's Troy Lewis, left side, gives it back out to Robinson. Robinson throws it out to Gaddis. Gaddis bounces it inside. Robinson tries to get through, can't do it. Troy Lewis fires, good! Lewis has 17, and the Boilermakers are back within 2. 75-73, a minute 39 to play. Guard Thompson with it. Ball almost run away. Jobert gets it. Jumper short. No. Rebounded underneath. And the foul is going to be called. And it'll be on Gaddis, I think. Or Stevens. Stevens is guilty of the foul. It'll be his 4th.
A rare miss by Jobert. Coming down that lane, that's where he likes to shoot. Hit the front of the rim, and Purdue just couldn't find the rebound as Wade was able to pick it up. Here comes the shot right off that front rim. Wade in a lucky position, actually, as the ball just didn't fall away.
First time Wade's been to the line tonight. He's only a 61% free throw shooter. But he makes it when it counts. 13 for him.
Wade is a senior, and he's been around through this before, and he knows what to do when he steps to the line, and all those percentages really kind of go out the window in a ball game like this one.
Wade again. Oh, that was weak.
Now Troy Lewis stepped across the line. He knew it. There was no way he could stop as he tried to anticipate the shot, and he lost his balance, stepped in. Wade will get another chance.
And Wade didn't have enough energy to get it up there.
He really felt the pressure on that one. I don't know whether he'll feel it this time or not.
It's the second opportunity, and he feels it again, Bob. But there is the rebound by guard Thompson. He comes out with the ball. Jobert with it with a minute 20 to play. It's keep away time for the Wolverines. They got a foul, and I think it'll be on, is it Robinson or not? Going to see it again, Bob.
Boilermakers really working on defense. There's Herb Robinson trying to get in front of guard Thompson. Couldn't get the position. Robinson picks up the foul, and Thompson goes to the free throw line. A junior, and he's a good shooter.
2 out of 2. It falls off. Robinson rebounds. Purdue down by 3, a minute 10 to play. Herb Robinson, top of the key. Here is a steal by Jobert. Comes down, lays it up. No, but there's a foul on the play. Boilermakers threw it away at the other end with exactly a minute to play. And we'll be at the free throw line with a toughie, Bob. Jobert, 2 out of 3.
Jobert is a great player, anticipated the pass at the other end, and stepped right in, brought it down for the shot. He'll get a 1-and-1 as they call the foul out on the floor. Michigan has made a lot of mistakes at that free throw line this evening, leaving some room for Purdue to jump back in there. The Boilermakers have cut that lead down to 3. They just can't seem to get over that hump. They're really playing hard with a lot of emotion, and we still have a minute left in the ball game, and anything can happen.
Purdue is getting ready to, I believe, make a substitution, and Kip Jones is going to come into the lineup. Here's Jones being brought in. Everett Stevens goes out. So with exactly a minute, Jobert will be at the free throw line. 2 out of 3 tonight, 10 points. His team is up by 3. 1 in bonus. It rolls off. And Purdue gets a rebound. Robinson gives to Gaddis. Gaddis comes up quickly. Lays it in the corner to Troy Lewis. He throws it across. Herb Robinson underneath, up and no! Rebounded by Mitchell. He couldn't hold on to the ball. Here's a block on Troy Lewis. 4 on him. And we'll go to the other end with 44 seconds to play, and Michigan there again. Purdue has had its opportunities, Bob.
Every chance to get back in the ball game. Herb Robinson had a layup that time and just put it too hard off the backboard. And Boilermakers got the rebound, and Todd Mitchell, he got tangled up with a Wolverine that was on the court, fell down and lost the ball, and Michigan now with it on the foul by Troy Lewis. It'll be Grant going to the free throw line. Another excellent shooter, although that hasn't made much difference here as the Wolverines cannot find the range.
So we're waiting now for a little work to be done over there on Herb Robinson. They were working on his wrist or something. There's the head man of the Wolverines, Bill Frieder. Only 3 and 8 against the Boilermakers, and the last 3 have been in his chart. Both last year, one earlier this year. He'd lost 8 to Gene Cady before last season.
Well, they have been real barn burners, too. That one up at Michigan looked like the Wolverines were going to walk, and then all of a sudden Purdue got back in it and made it a real ball game right down to the end before the Wolverines got that 4-point lead right at the buzzer. And it's been the same thing here again tonight.
Grant will go to the line, and they've missed 4 in a row. Here comes Purdue. Troy Lewis comes down. Purdue is down by 3. He throws it way outside to Gaddis. Fires. Good! And Purdue calls a timeout. Gaddis, first basket. 3 points. Cuts it to 76-75. And it's still anybody's game with 34 seconds left in it. And we'll be right back. The score is Michigan 76, Purdue 75.
After work, after play, when you get that hungry feeling any time of the day, Combos really cheeses your hunger away.
Cheese-flavored combos, a wholesome filled snack made with real cheese, packed into a crunchy baked nugget. So inside you, it's real good food.
Now you're gonna trade that hungry feeling for a smile on your face. 'Cause Combos really cheeses your hunger away.
When it's time to close your bag, are you going to rely on something wimpy or something hefty?
Hefty, hefty, hefty. Hefty.
The cinch sack from Hefty. Fill it up and it closes up. Reopen it and put in more.
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Want a bag that'll close every time? Then don't send a wimpy bag to do a hefty job.
Hefty.
The amazing cinch sack from Hefty.
The Michigan Wolverines have missed their last 4 free shots. Purdue had missed 4 in a row. Then they hit 2 in a row. It is Michigan's basketball. Michigan's lead of 1. 34 seconds remain to be played in the game.
It's been a game of peaks and valleys for both teams, and Purdue now reaching towards that peak, down by 1. Michigan has got to get the ball in bounds, and you don't know whether to foul anybody or not. Michigan certainly is due to hit a free throw. This is an excellent shooting ball club, but all of a sudden the basket at the closed end of Mackey Arena's got a lid on it.
Henderson is in. He'll throw it in. And here is Herb Robinson knocking the ball away. It'll be out of bounds again to the Wolverines. 1 second ticked off on that play. Henderson will throw it in. The crowd is on its feet. Here's the ball inbounds and a foul on Troy Lewis. No, they say no. It'll be Michigan's ball. They say he hit the ball first. Now it'll be a Michigan timeout. Michigan calls a timeout. They are having difficulty getting it in. 1 second is ticked off on 2 tries. 3 tries. Make the steal and put it in.
Bill Frieder wanted to take a look at his club and say, hey guys, let's find something that's going to work against this Boilermaker ball club. Purdue put on a very sticky defense. Herb Robinson was all over Joe Bear, knocking the ball away one time, and the second time just would not let him get open. So Gene Cady and Coach Frieder are really going after each other here tonight, working hard as their 2 clubs are trying to maintain their positions in the Big Ten. Of course, Purdue would like to step up a notch or so as Michigan leads the league with only 2 defeats, the Boilermakers with 4. And this is a big one for Purdue as we begin that second half, as we've talked about for the whole ball game. You need to win this one to set it up for the rest of the way.
Our next telecast will be next Thursday night at Wisconsin. We'll also have the Saturday game at Northwestern for you. Right here, and we hope you'll be with us as we follow Purdue in the 1986 Big Ten race. At the moment, the Michigan Wolverines are 7-2, looking for win number 8 to maintain possession of the top spot. If they lose, they'll be tied with Indiana. The Hoosiers won earlier tonight, and the Hoosiers at the moment are 7-3.
This has been a long ball game, Joe. Normally, a regulation game will get out in about 2 hours, and we're 2 hours and 15 minutes right now. These guys have got to be tired out there.
Here is Henderson to throw it in again, trying to, and it comes out here, and Jobert gets the ball and breaks it down, and here is a foul on Mitchell. I thought he got the ball, but the official said he got him with the body, and that's 3 fouls on him, and Jobert will go to the line. He's 2 out of 4 tonight. Missed his last one. He has 10 points.
That's the first foul on Mitchell since early in the first half when he picked up those 2 and had to go to the bench. And he has had one fine ball game, scoring 21 points and has a pile of rebounds.
76-75, Michigan. Jobert, 77% free throw shooter, 50% here tonight. 10 points equally divided in each half. He gets his 11th point. And that string of 4 misses is broken. 16 out of 25 for the Wolverines, and now a 2-point lead for Michigan.
There isn't anybody better that you'd like to have at the line than Jobert. Very cool-headed ball player, very intelligent, smart on the court. He knows how to not think about what the crowd's doing and just put it in the bucket.
And he does. 12 points for him. And now it is 78-75. Here comes Purdue. 27 seconds to play. Here's Troy Lewis with the ball. Troy comes outside, bounces it off to Gaddis, fires, it's deflected, battle for it underneath, and Michigan comes up with it. Now we got a foul and a 2-shot violation with 17 seconds. Not sure who it's on. It'll be on Robinson, maybe. Robinson's second foul. So we'll go to the other end, and the Wolverines have a chance of almost nailing it here as Relford will go to the line.
These are the things that are heartbreaking, and for the loser, and of course for the winner, it's the top of the mountain. Is just for a moment you're there, and then all of a sudden it slips away.
Relford 4 out of 5 makes his 11th point. Wolverines are 18 out of 27 and now leading by 4 with 17 seconds, and the Wolverines back off a little bit. Boilermaker win streak on this court is in jeopardy, and it may be over. 19 out of 28 now as Relford makes his 12th point. Here is Gaddis down, doesn't get it. Robinson underneath, scores, and there's also a foul on the play. Robinson has 8. That cuts the lead 80-77. But there are only 9 seconds left. Thompson's going to come in.
Relford picked up the foul, and boy, was it a bad foul for Michigan, because even if the Boilermakers score there, Michigan can stand out of bounds until there's only 4 seconds left on the clock before they have to get it in. Now the Boilermakers can cut it to 2. We'll probably call a timeout if they do and set up a final play.
Robinson, first time to the trip tonight. 65% at the line. He doesn't get the roll. Battle for the rebound. Guard Thompson can't hold it. Out of bounds. Purdue's basketball with 7 seconds. And Michigan would do well, I think, to back away and let Purdue shoot the ball. And that's probably what the coach is going to talk about over there. We'd like to tell you that any reproduction of this telecast is strictly forbidden without the express written permission of WLFI and Purdue University, which also has the approval of the announcers used in the telecast. Well, the Boilermakers get a break there, but only 7 seconds remaining, and the lead is 80-77. So really what you were talking about a moment ago, Bob, is now in effect because Purdue gets the basketball. Michigan backs away, Purdue shoots, although Purdue can call a timeout and stop the clock and then take a chance of stealing the ball.
That's what they'll have to do, and I would be real tempted just to, once the ball came inbound, just to back my entire team away, let them score, because probably 2 seconds will go off of the clock. And if Purdue calls a timeout, well, that's fine. You get the ball in, and the ball game, for all intents and purposes, is just about over. If you put any kind of token pressure on, and for some reason Purdue hits a shot and you commit a foul, you've got a whole new ball game with almost no time on the clock.
So the strategy sessions are underway over there with Gene Cady and the Boilermakers, and Bill Frieder and his Michigan Wolverines, ranked number 7 in the country. Wolverines will go to Illinois on Saturday, and then they will come home. They'll have 5 of their last 8 at home. The road games are at Illinois, Wisconsin, and Northwestern, and the Wolverines are in the driver's seat to become probably the first team since Indiana did it in 80-81 to repeat as champions.
One of the things that we have to talk about really is that Saturday game that Purdue plays, the Michigan State game, and we want to let you know that that game cannot be televised because of a network rule. The Big Ten will be on network television, and you just can't compete with those folks, so that Michigan State game will not be televised on Saturday.
7 seconds remaining. Robinson will throw it inbounds. It comes to Jones, now to Gaddis. He fires. Scores! Timeout for Purdue. Gaddis stops it with 3 seconds. He's got 5 points, and that cuts it to 1, 80-79. 3 seconds remaining. Ooh. You know, this is the way it was up at Michigan. Purdue cut it to 2 with 1 second, and they had to foul, of course, on the inbounds play.
Boy, you can't figure the way these basketball games go in the Big Ten. It looked like Michigan had the game under control and would go ahead and win it when they were up by 4 or 5 points here with about, 12, 14 seconds left. And they make a mistake at the other end. Relford commits a foul on a basket. And Robinson does not hit the free throw, but the ball goes out of bounds. Purdue gets it back, cuts it to 1. And another mistake by Michigan, and they've made a ton of them. It could be a Purdue victory.
Let's look at the scoring here. Mitchell leads Purdue at 21. Lewis with 17. McCants at 8 before he fouled out. Herb Robinson has 8. Jones has 5. Everett Stevens has 10. Doug Lee had only 5 before he fouled out. Gaddis has 5. But on the other side, it's Tarpley with 16. Wade with 13. Relford with 12. Thompson with 14. Grant with 11. And Jobert with 12. A final, Michigan State has upset Illinois, I suppose, because it's over there. It's 84-80. Ohio State leads Northwestern 70-47. Well, Michigan State has assured of itself staying in the run, Bob.
Michigan State playing very good basketball, and as Purdue found out on Sunday, Illinois is not a nice place to play in that last 4 or 5 minutes, so the Spartans have really done a job to get back in it and to win that ball game here this evening.
It is Michigan's basketball. 3 seconds left. Purdue leads by 1. Here's a blocking foul on Gaddis. That's 3 on him. We'll go to the other end, and a free shot will be forthcoming to the Michigan Wolverines. 1-1.
It'll be Grant going to the line, and with only 3 seconds left, in your wildest imagination, it would have to be a very long desperation shot for the Boilermakers to win this one, or even tie it. I doubt that Michigan will go inside, and although they are lining up on the line, and I would be surprised if they would stay in there.
3 out of 6 for Grant. He missed his first 2, hit 3 in a row, then missed 1. Wolverines are 19 out of 28. Grant at the line, missed it. Jones with the ball. He throws it to Purdue. Here's Gaddis, can't get it away, and the game is over, and the Wolverines have won the game. Coach Cady is complaining that there was a foul on the play. Not so. And the game is over, and the Wolverines have pulled it out. Well, the Boilermakers, Bob, had a shot there, but they couldn't really get possession of the ball. They wanted to get it to Troy Lewis, I'm sure, but they could not. And I think the Purdue's thought maybe there was a foul on the play, but there was no call.
Well, the ball came off the left side of the goal, and that was the side that Matt Gaddis was set up on. Troy tried to come over and finally did get the ball about mid-court. And as he tried to make the move through the 3 Wolverines there, the ball slipped away, and Matt Gaddis tried to get a hold of it, but I think it had already gone out of bounds, and thus went the game for Purdue, as it has here this evening. They've had a chance to do a job, but they just couldn't get it done.